Kok itu udah jam 9?
Anyway, Mr. Guru. Halo, selamat pagi semuanya. Hari ini kita akan mendengarkan presentasi dari Mr. Gordon Vanstone, yaitu Client Relation Manager dari PTE Academic Thailand, Singapura, dan Indonesia. Oke. Untuk Mr. Gordonnya kita masih menunggu.
Udah ada.
Udah ada.
Masuk.
Ya. Hello, Mr. Gordon.
Hello. Hi, Rivaldo.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm good. Thank you very much. We're going to start.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Should I just take over now?
Are you ready now?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, you can start from now. I'm going to
good
remind
morning.
you about the time later, and maybe there is some question I'd like to tell you later.
Perfect. Okay, good morning, everyone. Hi, it's nice to meet you all from Widya Dharma University. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm the Client Relations Manager for PTE Academic. It's a high-stakes English language test, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our test for study abroad and scholarships and work opportunities in other countries today. So just let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah, so welcome and good morning. And as I mentioned, I'm from PTE Academic as the Client Relations Manager for Indonesia. And I'm going to tell you about our high-stakes English language test today. So the PTE Academic is English language test, which is developed by Pearson, which is the world's largest education company. It's based out or originated out of the UK, but we now operate in more than 70 countries and have 24,000 employees. We make textbooks, we make assessment material, we make online learning. So the PT Academic is one of our tests in our assessment, learning assessment or language assessment portfolio. And so being a Pearson product, we have many years of experience and expertise behind us. So a little bit of a video overview about what the PTE Academic is. I'll just quickly show you this commercial, which introduces our test.
The world might be on pause, but it doesn't mean I have to wait.
I'm ready for success, and nothing is going to get in my way. I am sticking to my plan, and I will make it real.
I'm taking action today, so my future can start tomorrow.
PTE is a secure English test for your visa and study application. It's quick and accurate computer-based testing, with results typically available within just 48 hours. PTE. Ready when you are.
Okay, so this is a fairly recent It's a fairly recent commercial that we've made. It says the world might be on pause, so it's acknowledging the difficulty the world went through in 2020. Looks like things were looking up for 2021 with some good vaccines on the horizon, but it's talking about with the world on pause, you know, people still are thinking about their future, and for a lot of you, that's maybe studying in another country or going to work in another country. And we're saying that our test will be ready when you are. So because it's very convenient to book into and you get your results back very quickly, as soon as you're ready to pursue your dream, the PTE test will be there for you. So what makes our test unique compared to other high stakes tests in the market like IELTS or TOEFL? what's really unique about the PT Academic is two main areas. One, it's fast. And the second one is that it's safe and fair. So these are the two main aspects that make us our advantages over other tests in the market. And I'll explain in more detail what I mean by fast and fair. So the PT Academic is 100% computer-based test. Means you take the whole test on the computer. And what's really unique is that the whole test is actually marked by a computer as well. So we have a proprietary AI marking system using artificial intelligence, which will mark your speaking, your writing, those other components that used to be marked by a human marker in other tests. We mark using a state-of-the-art technology and a computer marking engine. And what this does is it makes the test very secure so that people can't cheat and that the results are accurate. It also makes it unbiased so that there's no human error or human bias coming into how you're scored. So just an overview of the test is that it's very convenient to book into. So we operate out of a test centers because it's computer-based, and you can book into the test just 24 hours in advance. You sit the whole test in 3 hours, so no coming back for the speaking section, and then you get your results within 48 hours, or under 48 hours on average. The scoring is the most accurate. The test is very relevant in that the questions are focused on academic language that you would use in school or the workplace. It's also relevant because we use accents for the listening. We don't just use a British accent or an American accent. We use accents from all over the world so that you get that diversity of English language. And it's also objective in that it's scored by a computer, so we don't have that human subjectivity or human bias where two people can have a different feeling on an answer. And it's secure. So our test centers use the highest security, and this is why we're accepted by top universities around the world and governments. So student survey of our test taker, why do they like to take our test? Well, the number one reason is the fast results, that they don't have to wait around for 3 weeks for the results to come back. They come under 48 hours, which means you know whether you need to take the test again or you know whether you got the score so that you can start applying to your dream university. The second favorite aspect is that it's unbiased. So again, you feel like you know when you get your score back that you were only graded on your English language ability, that it wasn't like the way you were dressed or you didn't comb your hair that day, or any of these other outside factors that could affect how a human marker scores you. The computer will not. And you're able to take the entire test in one session. So, the fact you can sit down 3 hours and get it all done with, and you do the whole test in one place in one session. So it goes quickly. Okay, so our test is faster for the reasons I've described. Submitting scores. It's very easy to submit your results via our score report website, and the scores are valid for 2 years. And you can submit your scores to an unlimited number of schools or even government agencies. So as I said, we use a proprietary AI marking system, and I noticed that your university has a large computer science area. So if there's anyone there, I thought I'd go a little bit into the AI marking, which you might find interesting.
At PTE Academic, we use AI for one very simple reason: to make the most unbiased English test we can. But how can a computer assess language as well as a human? Well, AI scoring means that it's not simply a single human assessing your English, but a very clever algorithm that mimics how human markers would score based on many, many responses. It all starts with our team of expert test developers. They create tests that reflect real-life scenarios, not just multiple choice questions, but essay writing, listening tasks, and storytelling exercises. We then ask hundreds, sometimes thousands of people from all around the world to answer the questions. Each response is evaluated by experts who rate them on things such as use of language, content, or pronunciation. These expert ratings become the sample data for our computers to understand what kinds of responses deserve what kind of marks. This enables the machine, using AI, to imitate the expert ratings and assign human-like ratings to responses. Put simply, that means that when you take our test, what you say or write is instantaneously compared with hundreds of previous responses and how they were scored. And because our test is built around state-of-the-art technology, it can be simply delivered and taken anywhere in the world, giving consistent scores every time. So when you sit down to take the PTE academic test, you're taking advantage of an algorithm that doesn't simply evaluate your skin colour, your gender, or your shoes, but that cleverly evaluates your English on its own merits. It's simple, really. Actually, maybe it's the opposite of simple. Clever.
So the test is actually developed by humans, and the questions are developed by humans, and then the computer marking engine is trained by humans. So with lots of data and information where expert human markers mark the answer, and then but when that question goes live, it has enough information that it can estimate accurately how a human marker would score your English language ability. And it puts anything else outside of the way. So, you know, in another human mark speaking test, you know, I could be in one room and the person next to me in the next room could be marked easier because the person that's marking them, the human, is in a better mood or something like that. And that's just not fair. Also, we look at geographically that markers in Indonesia might be more difficult than the same marker, say IELTS or TOEFL marker that's marking students with less ability in India, but they score better because of that human marker being more relaxed or easier. So it's as simple as this, the AI and why we use it. The reliability human raters, student one says, here's my answer. This guy says, this marker says that's an average answer. Student two says, this is the exact same answer. And this interviewer says, well, that's a fantastic answer. So that sort of subjectivity we want to get rid of. And that's what we do with the AI marking. So they speak into the computer, give their answer. This student gives the exact same answer, and the computer will always spit out the same result. So that's the real advantage. And our AI has been around for over 10 years, so it's become very advanced. And you can see all of the things it can score. So in written scoring, you look at your development and coherence, your style and tone, your paragraph structure. In spoken scoring, it can look at accuracy, pronunciation, intonation, fluency. All of this can be done by a computer marking system. So it's really advanced now. And essentially, we develop it. The answers are transcribed. They're rated by human markers. And then the system is trained, you know, to even with like voice waves and breaking down each word and sentence to be able to predict future answers. And then it goes live, and then it's validated as well. So it makes sure that before it goes live, that the human markers, the expert human raters, and the machine are scoring answers the same. Okay, so now you know a little bit about our test. If you're interested in taking it, how do you book the test, and what do you expect on test day? You can simply go to our site, PearsonPT.com, and you can even do it from your cell phone, from your mobile, and you can book online. And you can also access our host of preparation resources from your website. You can take the test then. Your scores will be ready under 48 hours. So as you can see in 2019, 1.2 days, so like 33 hours. And then you can provide your scores to unlimited institutions and professional bodies. This whole process from going on, booking your test within 48 hours, getting your scores back under 48 hours, and then providing to institutions, the whole thing can be done in under 5 days. No other test can say that. So when you go to our site, you'll see a screen like this right on the landing page, and it's as simple as choosing where you want to study or where you want to go and what you want to go for. Is it study? Is it for work? And we take you to the correct test. Then you choose where you want to sit the test, and then you choose the time, and then you pay for it. So it's a really simple process with our guided user journey, and we take you to the right test for your purpose. And, you know, we always recommend that even though it's simple, you talk to our agent partners like Best Partner Education, because they can help you with that registration process. They can also maybe offer you some deals. They can offer you assistance with preparation. So if you're working with an agent, or we suggest you work with an agent, and they can really help you out with information on the test. So as I said, you choose where you take your test, and we test in 53 countries worldwide. So it is a global test. And in Indonesia, we have these 3 locations. We test in Jakarta, Surabaya, and in Pontianak at University Tanjung Pura. But again, you know, our registration centers are places like Best Partner Education. And it's very important that you get familiarity with the test before you go and sit it. That will be a big help for your score. And we recommend that test familiarity, you go to one of our partners, our experts like Best Partner Education. A test center looks like this. Very clean environment, but very secure. You have a waiting area where you sign in. You show your passport or other acceptable ID. You should get there 30 minutes beforehand. You do a palm vein scan. You get a picture ID. You put all your possessions in a locker. You can't go into the test center with anything. No pencils, phone, or anything like that. You sit in a cubicle where you have enough space between you and the other people. You have your headphones, a microphone. All of this equipment's been checked beforehand to make sure it's working order. And as you take the test, there's an invigilator. So if you're having a problem, you're not feeling well, or some issue with your equipment, you can raise your hand and they'll come attend to you. So the whole idea about or objective of assessing a student's languages is not a judgment. It's an assessment, right? So it's just to find out how your level, not whether you're good or bad or anything like that, and to take out anything that could affect that anything that could affect your score that's not your English language ability. I mentioned earlier the security being an important part. As you can see, you know, with the way our test centers are set up, they're highly secure. And this is why we get accepted by government scholarship bodies and top universities. They're, of course, very careful about who they recognize as a secure language test. And PTE has proven itself to be one that they trust, because we're very careful about, you know, making sure that there's no way to cheat or impersonate someone else and give them your score. So after you sit the test, within 48 hours, you get your score report code. It will have your overall score, and it will have your 4 main communicative skills: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The other thing you get is what's called your enabling skills. And this can help you if you're just on a practice test, or if you're looking at, you know, or if you've done the official test, but you didn't get the score you need, so you know you need to study a little bit more. You can see, oh, I need to work on my writing. My written discourse was pretty bad. All right. The only thing you need to send to universities is this score report code. And then they use that code on the application to call up your score report from their portal. Okay. They're valid for 2 years, the results. We're also accepted now for visas in the UK. So we have actually a new test called the PT Academic UK VI. The content is the same, but if you're applying to the UK government for a visa, you need to use your CELT URN. We do align to other tests. We align to the CFR, or all of the tests align to the Common European Framework. But then we also align to those tests individually, the IELTS and the TOEFL, just so if you've taken that before, or if you know sort of where you fall on the IELTS band, you can see where you would be on the PT Academic. So we are recognized all around the world. 100% of universities in Australia and New Zealand, by scholarship bodies, and growing number of universities in Asia, 40 in Malaysia, NUS and NTU in Singapore, and other colleges and universities recognize us. We're now recognized by the LPDP scholarship in Indonesia, and I'll go into more information on the scholarships in a second. 98% of universities in the UK, the Chevening scholarship, and the visas, all UK visas. More universities throughout Europe. We're focusing now on Germany and France, Sweden, Finland. These are becoming more popular study destinations. And also USA and Canada. We're accepted by thousands of universities. Just some of the top schools you'll see around the world. In Canada, places like McGill, Texas A&M, New York University, University College of London is a very popular one for international students in the UK, and then some throughout. So who accepts us? So there's too many schools for me to go through the whole list, but you can go to our website, pearsonpte.com, the test, who accepts it, and you can actually search by country to find out who accepts us. So for example, this is, I just typed in Australia, and then, you know, there's 40 pages of results of universities or government bodies or places like, you know, the nursing board and so on who accept our scores. So it's a pretty long list. We also have a recognition list that updates, that looks all around the world, that we've provided to our partner agents like Best Partner Education. So you can contact them, and they'll be able to assist you and inform if the university you're looking to apply to or the scholarship body you're looking to apply to accepts PT academic scores. Very likely that they do. Again, we're accepted by thousands of universities globally. I've just given a very small snapshot of some of the ones here that you may be familiar with, and also the government visas. And another thing is professional bodies, especially in Australia and New Zealand, where the government's accepted us for a while. If you want to work there in IT, engineering, nursing, you have to be approved by the government body. So you have to be approved by the nursing body. And they often ask for a language test to give you that approval, a language proficiency score, and they accept the PT academic. We're also accepted by a number of scholarships, and Indonesia is, of course, a big scholarship country. So a lot of students in Indonesia apply for scholarships, and that's how they study abroad, is through the great scholarship system that your country has. So some international places like the Australia Awards, very active in Indonesia, they accept our scores. The Chevening Scholarship, the New Zealand Asian Scholarship Awards, these all accept us. Fulbright for the USA. And then some of the domestic scholarship plans, like the LPDP is the big one that we just got accepted for this year. Previously and currently we're accepted by the Mora Scholarship. I can never pronounce this one right. Vistek Dikti also accepts our scores as well for their scholarship program. So just there, unfortunately, we just got accepted by LPDP this year. We're very excited about that. But with COVID, they've only released 2 scholarships. I think the top 15 university and then an educator scholarship. So, but they have released their catalogs for those 2 scholarships. And you can see the PTE academic is now listed on there, which is great news. And then so next year, we hope to see all of their scholarships released, both domestic and international, and the PT academic being there as well. So what's the test look like? So our test is in 3 parts: speaking and writing, and there's 20 item types. So you do the speaking and writing, the reading, and then the listening. And there's different item types for each section. So read aloud would be very much a speaking item type. And then I have to do an essay. That's purely a writing item type. Okay. So those are the 3 sections and the 20 item types. Before you sit the test, even if your English language level is very good, very strong, and you're confident, we still recommend you spend some time familiarizing yourself with the test items so that you go in knowing the test structure, knowing some tips, some strategies for answering each question. Otherwise, it can be a little bit difficult. We think in a lot of ways it's easier to score well on our test than it is some of the other high stakes language tests. But if you don't go in with familiarity with the test, you're not going to do well. We can almost guarantee that. So there's some great resources we have, or reach out to an agent partner like Best Partner Education who can help you prepare. But if you go to our website, we have preparation resources. We have item type explained. We have an app, and I'll go into more of those details. But I'm going to show you a few right now. Here's one. It's called repeat a sentence. So essentially, I will listen to a sentence. My microphone will open. I'll hear a beep, which means that I start speaking, and all I need to do is repeat that sentence as I heard it.
The university has a world-renowned school of archaeology.
Beep. And then I would speak into my microphone. The university has a world-renowned school of archaeology. Okay, so I'm trying to get all the words right, pronounce them correctly, and I also want my sentence to be fluent. So I need the proper intonation. I don't need, the university has a world-renowned school of archaeology. So I said everything correctly, but it wasn't natural fluency, and the computer will recognize that. And I'll get some points for having all the words correct and the pronunciation correct, but I'll lose some points because my intonation and fluency wasn't natural. So probably the ones that it's most important to look at are the speaking and into the computer, because that's different, much different than normal, than what you would be used to in other tests. So. Sorry, I'm gonna skip that. Sorry, that was just you can watch that on YouTube. That's just the test format, which I'm gonna describe or described already. But I recommend you go to our YouTube channel and look at some of those videos. But I wanna say this is a described image. This is one of the speaking ones. These are the ones that I think most students should prepare for most. So you're gonna have 25 seconds to look at an image. It's gonna be a graph, a map, or something like that. And then I have 40 seconds that I have to speak into the microphone and describe. So I can see my record answer. I can see the countdown clock to when I need to begin. That's when I make some notes. You have an erasable whiteboard. And then when I hear the beep, I'll start speaking. You'll see a green line move up and down here. That means it's recording your voice. So I will show this video. That's specifically the video on our preparation pathway that describes and shows you what this item type looks like.
Describe image. For this item type, you need to describe an image. The recording status box displays a countdown until the microphone opens. You have 25 seconds to study the image and prepare your response. You hear a short tone. After the tone, start speaking immediately.
The graph shows the percentage of the population receiving age or disability pensions in different regions of Sydney.
Okay, you can see it recording, showing how long she's spoken for, and then showing the recording with the green line. They cut her answer short. You should use the whole 40 seconds. And structure your answer. Sorry, why do I keep going through here? Okay, so I'm going to go back to this really quickly. So if you go to our website in the preparation pathway, or if you work with some partner like Best Partner Education, they'll be able to give you these test tips, which are really useful. It tells you how to score better on that item type. So pearsonpt.com/preparation. You can watch those videos, and then you can look at a test tip for each item type. How to organize your description of an image so that it works well. Other suggestions that would be like study the language about talking about graphs, line graphs, bar graphs, maps, that sort of thing. And then it'll also tell you in there how you're scored on each item type, which might be useful in preparing. So I know what I need to look at, okay? Oral fluency, pronunciation, content. These are the things I focus on when I answer that question. Just quickly listen to a student answer this question. So he's got a graph. It's a line graph this time. As I mentioned, it would always be a graph or map or something. It's iTunes purchased songs and over 150 weeks, and the songs purchased in millions. Okay, so that's what you're describing, and we'll listen to his answer.
Here we can see some statistic about some proof cases and week numbers. So it shows, it depends on the week, how many song proof cases in millions. And it's about iTunes purchase songs. So we could find that in the 150 week number, there's the maximum result, which is 1,000 million.
Okay, so some errors are sincerity. We see some statistic, not statistics. Purchases rather than purchases. So that's a pronunciation error, not an accent. So the machine marking will not mark you down for your accent, but it will recognize mispronunciation. So he described the content pretty good, other than those small errors. He needs to speak longer for one thing. And the other thing it will tell you in the test tips is that you should draw a conclusion. So rather than just describe what you see, make a conclusion about that. So the graph shows a trend of a sharp increase in the later weeks. So we can conclude that iTunes purchases of songs will increase very rapidly in the near future, and so on. So that's a conclusion I'm drawing, which is important for that item type. Some of the other item types, like this is listening, it's very simple. You just listen and then fill in the blanks. So you may see this on other tests as well.
We've decided to adopt just as a loose theme for the course, a biological theme, so that you can see the connections between chemistry and biology and the things that you might consider doing in the future. We want you to think about the molecules that are relevant to your body.
Okay, one thing about this is a really simple strategy can really help you with this. So if you try and type your answers in to the blank as you listen, it's going to be very difficult to get the proper word in there, the full word, and you're going to lose your place. So what I found is a really easy strategy that goes from, losing half the points on this to getting full points is you use the erasable whiteboard. And as I listen and I fill in the blank, I just write a little note because I can write without looking at it. So of course, biological, I can either write the whole word, scribble it messily as I hear, and then afterwards I can go and fill it in because you can only listen once. So those little strategies can go a long way in helping you improve your score. Reading question, you simply reorder paragraphs. So find the topic sentence, and then from there you just need to see which sentences sort of lead into the next. So again, there's lots of little strategies you can use here and language tips that will help you with that. So how to prepare for the PT academic. This is our taster. This is not really preparation, but it is not really preparation, but it's an introduction to the test. So if you scan that code, it will take you to our PTE academic taster, Don't know if you can see it on my phone, but it will open up on your phone, and it's just 5 item types that you can do on your phone and gives you a little report card. It's quite fun. Okay, these are strong areas. First, like I've been mentioning throughout, go to one of our partner agents who can assist you with directing you to preparation resources or even offering you prep courses. Practice app. We have a practice app that you can download. It's really useful for having sample questions and developing your best strategies for helping you do well on the test. And we also have some free courses you can enroll in. So for E2 language out of Australia, we've developed this free online course. It's 3 hours, and it's, again, that item type familiarity. It won't improve your English because it's only 3 hours, but it will improve your understanding of our test. So if your English language level is already high and you just need that test familiarity, this is a great little resource for you. So all of this can be accessed at pearsonpt.com/preparation. So again, you can go to our preparation pathway as those videos and test tips, specialist help like the agents, and then we have the online scored practice tests as well, which I'm going to talk about right here. So this is our online scored practice test to familiarize and measure candidates' English language ability. So this is a great resource that we have. Reach out to Best Partner Education for any maybe deals on that test, but you can purchase that for $36 US, and it's basically a mirror image of the actual test. So it will give you a result within 20 minutes. It will mark your speaking, it will mark your essay writing, just as it would in the actual test. So it's a great resource to see if you're ready to take the test. And it's also a great, being the ultimate mock test, being the exact replica of the real test that scored the exact same way of the real test. Will really help prepare you and show you how ready you are to sit the actual test. All right, and that draws me to the end. Thank you very much. I'll stop.
All right, thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. Gordon. I would like to summarize all of your presentation in bahasa to the audience. Okay. Oke, semuanya tadi udah dijelaskan sama Mr. Gordon dan juga udah ada yang nanya, tapi akan saya jelasin dulu dan rangkum dulu apa yang udah dijelaskan sama Pak Gordon tadi loh. Yang pertama, Pak Gordon itu dari PTE Academic Test, merupakan Client Relation Manager yang ada di Singapura, Thailand, dan Indonesia. Tadi PTE Test Academic udah dijelaskan. PTE adalah tes profisiensi kemahiran bahasa Inggris yang bisa digunakan untuk studi, bisa untuk kerja, dan juga imigrasi, ataupun scholarship lainnya yang diterima hampir di seluruh kampus. Udah banyak banget kampus, ribuan, puluhan ribu, dan juga banyak negara yang sangat udah nerima PTE Academic Test. PTE Academic Test itu sangat fair, cepat, akurat, dan bisa digunakan profesional ataupun students. Selanjutnya, PTE itu udah setara TOEFL atau IELTS dengan kemampuan yang diteskan adalah speaking, writing, reading, listening menggunakan computer-based atau AI, artificial intelligence, yang hasilnya pasti fair, tidak ada cheat atau no bias atau tidak ada yang subjektif. Jadi semuanya hasilnya pasti benar-benar fair, dan juga hasilnya bisa keluar paling cepat dalam waktu 44 jam. Jadi ini lebih cepat dari IELTS ataupun TOEFL. Oke, untuk tesnya bisa dilakukan atau bisa menghubungi Best Partner Education. Oke. Dan itu semua udah saya rangkum dari apa yang udah disampaikan Mr. Gordon tadi. Oke, tadi udah ada pertanyaan, 2 pertanyaan. Pertama, okay, sir, there are 3 questions already.
Certainly.
Would you like me to read it? Okay, first question is from Yolanda Tanwi. Good morning, sir. Can PTE Academic apply to all university? Because I think I haven't seen PTE Academic not as much as TOEFL or IELTS in the university entry requirement. Okay, that's the
so I can't say every university in the world, but a very large number. So 100% of universities in Australia or New Zealand. So if you're looking at studying in Australia and New Zealand, all universities. If you're looking at studying in the UK, 98% of universities. So there's only two, which is Oxford and Cambridge, that don't accept our scores. And the reason they don't accept our scores is because they own their own test. So Oxford English Language Test and the IELTS test is owned by Cambridge. So that's why those two. But every other university in the UK will accept us. 90% of universities in Canada. So there's only two, I believe, in Canada that don't accept us currently. So in those countries, pretty much everywhere. The United States, over 1,000 universities. But there's so many universities and colleges that we're still working away. So PTE has been around for 10 years, which is actually makes us much younger than the TOEFL and the IELTS. So they've been around for 30 plus years. So they've got that recognition built over time. And we're still building that in some areas, but in the major study areas, New Zealand and places, we've got the 100% recognition. We are still working in some areas on that recognition. And as Asia, they're studying in Asia or even in Indonesia, we have some work to do with domestic recognition as well. But that's growing as well. So yes, not all. Always check with the university you're going to apply for. So look online at the entrance requirements and see if they accept your score, will accept PT Academic.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I would like to translate what's been presented. Okay, Dea Yolanda Tanwi, tadi udah dijawab sama Mr. Gordon. Jawabannya iya, emang PTE belum 100%, tapi sudah banyak negara yang hampir mencapai 100% recognition, seperti Australia atau New Zealand, atau Kanada, atau England, atau Inggris, atau UK, itu udah hampir 100%, jadi jangan khawatir jika mengambil beasiswa studi ataupun imigrasi atau kerja di sana. Dan selain itu, juga di negara lain udah ribuan universitas yang udah bekerja sama PTE, jadi tidak perlu khawatir akan tesnya apakah akan diterima atau enggak. Tapi ada beberapa aja yang belum, seperti kayak Oxford ataupun Cambridge, jadi mereka belum menerima sepenuhnya karena mereka itu dari IELTS dan juga induknya IELTS, jadi mereka nggak bisa menggunakan PTE gitu. Oke, tapi PTE udah hampir 100% di UK. Selanjutnya itu di Indonesia udah banyak dan juga masih akan terus berkembang. Di Indonesia udah bisa semua. Dan tapi jika ingin mendaftar ke luar negeri ataupun beasiswa ataupun kerja, bisa dicek dulu persyaratannya. Jadi bisa yakin apakah PTE bisa digunakan atau belum. Karena belum 100%, tapi udah hampir 100%. Okay, thank you very much, Dea Yolanda, for the question. And that's the answer. Okay, Mr. Gordon, there is another question from Michelle. Would you like me to read it?
Please.
Okay, from Michelle. Good morning, sir. What if we did not pass the test for the first time? Are we could retest again without applying new registration? Thank you. And that's the question.
Okay. So we don't really have a pass the test. So that you need to get the score you want for your application. So for example, if you're applying for an Australian visa, it's a point system. And you need to get a 79 points to get your 79 score to get 20 points towards your visa. So, but a university student might ask you for 55 or, you know, even 42 if it's an international college. So it depends on the score you need to get for your purpose to pass, right? To get the score you want for your application or your purpose. If you are not successful in getting the score you need for your purpose, then you need to retest and you need to apply or register again. But the unique thing about the PTE is for other tests, say if you don't get the score you wanted in an IELTS, you wouldn't know that for 2 weeks after you take the test, and then you might have to wait another 3 weeks before you can sit it again. So that's 5 weeks that have gone by because to your second test. With PT Academic, if you get your score back within 48 hours, realize that you didn't get the score you wanted and have to retest, you can book again within 24 hours, sit the test, and then get your score back again within 48 hours. So you could not pass or not get the score you need, and then within 5 days you can have your not only retake the test but have your score returned. The big advantage.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your answer. I would like to translate it to Michelle. Michelle, jawaban dari Pak Gordon adalah tes hanya bisa dilakukan sekali. Jadi kamu harus mencapai persyaratan yang ingin kamu capai. Jika belum sesuai mencapai yang hasil diinginkan, kamu harus mendaftar lagi, mengapply lagi, dan juga melakukan tes lagi. Tapi jangan khawatir, karena PTE tes nggak kayak tes lainnya. Kalau tes lainnya kamu gagal, harus nunggu lama lagi, sebulan atau 2 bulan, atau kita nggak tahu, bisa lama, karena nunggu hasilnya lagi, dan juga daftarnya lagi bisa lama, dan nunggu yang lainnya. Tapi kalau PTE tes, bisa cepat, bisa nunggu hanya waktu 2 hari keluar hasil, habis itu besoknya kamu bisa daftar, dan juga besoknya lagi kamu bisa tes lagi. Jadi nggak perlu khawatir dengan tesnya akan lama. Oke. Itu udah aku rangkum jawabannya tadi. Thank you very much, Michelle.
I made it a complicated answer, but yes, you have to reapply, you have to re-register, but it's very convenient, very easy and fast to do.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Correct. Thank you very much. There is another question, sir. This is the last question from Devani CM. The first question is, good morning, sir. If I got the high score of this test and I want to go to other countries such as America, can I use the certificate without using TOEFL test again? Thanks.
Yes. So, I mean, if you're applying to a university that accepts PTE Academic, TOEFL, and TOEFL, they want one or the other. They don't expect both. So our test replaces the other high stakes tests. So if you want to go study in the US, or you want to go study, say you want to study at Harvard accepts PTE Academic. So they won't expect you have to take a PT Academic, or you have to take IELTS or a TOEFL. You don't have to do all of them. So if you take PT Academic, that's the only high stakes test you need. You use our score to apply, and you don't need the other score. You don't need the other test.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I would like to translate it again to Devani. Devani, jawabannya adalah ya, kamu nggak perlu menggunakan tes lain ketika kamu udah pakai PTE test, nggak perlu pakai TOEFL ataupun IELTS ataupun yang lainnya. Jadi di USA kayak Harvard ataupun universitas yang ternama udah nerima PTE test. Ataupun jika kamu ingin kerja, kamu bisa juga menggunakan PTE test. Jadi kamu nggak perlu ngambil tes lainnya seperti TOEFL. Okay, thank you very much. And that's all the question. We go to the next section actually, but Mr. Gordon, do you have another thing to say?
No, I'll just say thank you very much to all the students of Widya Dharma. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced that right. But well, thank you very much for your time today and your great questions. Those were really great questions. And I hope you decide at some point to give the PTE academic a chance and try it out and see how you do, and use it to realize your future work dreams or future study dreams. So thank you very much. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gordon, and thank you very much semuanya. Selanjutnya kita akan ada sesi penyampaian scholarship atau beasiswa dari Mr. Ryan. There is another presentation actually, sir, from Mr. Ryan. It is about a scholarship related to PTE Academy.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. Hello semuanya. This is Mr. Ryan.
Hello.
Mr. Ryan, can you turn on the camera?
It's already on.
Oh. Maybe we should wait later. For a while, for a second.
Can you hear my voice now?
Yeah, we can hear your voice. Okay, maybe we can start from here, even without the camera. It's all right. Okay,
that's fine.
You may start now.
Okay, what if I just change the camera a little bit?
Okay. Do you need to share screen, Mr. Ryan? Mohon ditunggu semuanya. Mr. Ryan akan menyampaikan tentang beasiswa yang berhubungan dengan PTE dan yang ada di negara-negara lain. Tapi ini masih ada gangguan teknis. Mohon bersabar menunggu.
Nggak ada pembukaan di sini. Muncul kok.
Ada.
Muncul pembukaan di sini kok. Di layar.
Di layar belum muncul.
Dia putus. Yeah. Hello, can you see me now?
Okay, now we can see you, sir. Okay, great.
Oke. Baik, langsung kita mulai aja ya. Kalau tadi itu udah pakai bahasa Inggris semua, nih kita menggunakan bahasa kita sendiri ya. Oke. Oke. Jadi tolong tunjukin slide-nya. Jadi kita hari ini terutama kita membahas mengenai tentang beasiswa itu sendiri. Tadi itu ada beberapa hal kan yang udah dimentionin sama Mr. Gordon, perwakilan dari PTE. Jadi kalau saya ini pribadinya akan memberitahukan kalian mengenai beasiswa itu sendiri. Tadi ada beberapa hal yang saya lihat itu udah ada yang tertarik mau ambil S.Pd dan lain-lainnya. Nah, tugas saya di sini adalah meluruskan dan membuka pikiran kalian juga. Mungkin ada beberapa yang belum mengetahui beasiswa itu apa, atau mungkin kalian hanya mendengar informasi dari satu pihak, beasiswa ini susah dan lain-lainnya. Nah, di sini kita akan lebih membuka pikiran kalian dan bagaimana istilahnya kalian tuh bisa gitu menjadi awardee bahasanya gitu ya. Oke, perkenalkan dulu, nama saya Cipta Julianda. Saya pribadi adalah seorang kepala divisi akademik di Best Partner Education dan juga merupakan salah satu tim pengajar di Best Partner Education, terutama untuk persiapan tes, nah tes seperti PTE dan lain-lainnya juga seperti itu. Oke, selanjutnya. Selanjutnya, slide-nya. Ya, jadi pembahasan hari ini saya bagi jadi 5 ya. Jadi yang pertama itu beasiswa itu apa, yang kedua itu 2 tipe beasiswa, yang ketiga itu jenis beasiswa, keempat kriteria menjadi awardee beasiswa itu sendiri, dan terakhir adalah bagaimana sih PTE relate with this. Jadi hubungannya dengan PTE itu sama beasiswa itu apa. Nanti kita akan lebih lanjut di situ ya. Selanjutnya. Jadi beasiswa itu apa sih secara umumnya ya? Jadi beasiswa itu apa? Suatu bantuan untuk mendukung studi kalian. Yang kedua itu diberikan karena Anda telah melalui proses administrasi dan proses seleksinya. Yang buat beasiswa itu istimewa sendiri itu adalah seleksinya yang ketat itu. Enggak semua orang bisa dapat beasiswa dan enggak semua orang juga bahasanya itu eligible untuk mendapatkan beasiswa karena ada proses administrasinya dan proses seleksinya. Dan kebanyakan teman-teman kan menganggap beasiswa itu susah hanya untuk orang pintar. Nah, sebenarnya itu nggak benar. Jadi harus saya luruskan nanti untuk hal itu. Tapi itu di slide selanjutnya. Jadi secara umumnya beasiswa itu apa? Yaitu tadi untuk membantu kalian untuk membantu studi Anda, terutama kalau misalnya kalian tuh mau studi ke luar negeri itu, nah kan pembiayaannya besar banget tuh. Ada yang pembiayaan untuk biasanya akomodasinya itu udah mahal. Dan ingat ini kita pakai mata uang mereka. Terus untuk pembiayaan hidup juga, termasuk makan dan lain-lainnya, transportasi, biaya juga beli buku, research dan lain-lainnya itu juga merupakan beban yang sangat berat lah kalau kita mau kuliah ke luar negeri. Nah, dengan adanya beasiswa ini, setidaknya kalian itu hanya memikirkan untuk studi kalian saja, tidak perlu lagi mikir-mikir cari duit di mana dan lain-lainnya. Although, walaupun seperti itu kan kalian tetap bisa juga diberikan kesempatan untuk mempunyai side job juga di sana, tergantung dari negara mana yang kalian tuju dan jenis visanya seperti apa. Seperti itu. Selanjutnya. Ya, jadi guys, beasiswa itu pada umumnya dibagi 2. Jadi kalau kalian pikirnya beasiswa itu semuanya itu fully funded, semuanya dibayarin itu salah. Beasiswa itu dibagi 2. Yang pertama itu dia fully funded. Fully funded artinya itu biaya penuh. Tiket pulang pergi, akomodasi, hidup, SPP sekolah kalian, dan lain-lainnya itu biasanya dibiayain sama yang memberikan beasiswa itu sendiri. Itu. Ada beberapa contoh beasiswa fully funded, itu nanti akan saya tunjukin. Dan yang kedua itu partial atau pembiayaan parsial. Nah, biasanya ini kalau yang beasiswa yang parsial ini atau biasanya itu setengah, itu dia cuman bayar SPP. Dan biasanya itu kalau yang lain-lainnya tiket pulang pergi, pembiayaan pembuatan visa dan lainnya itu biasanya dari kita sendiri. Nah, kalau yang parsial ini kan mungkin untuk orang yang lumayan menengah ke atas lah ya, tapi SPP-nya nggak mampu, tapi kehidupannya masih mampu dan lain-lainnya, ya mungkin bisa ambil ini. Biasanya untuk yang parsial ini bisa ditemuin di website dari masing-masing perguruan tinggi itu. Biasanya kayak perguruan tinggi Ivy League di Amerika dan di Australia dan juga di Inggris itu juga, biasanya masing-masing universitas itu kayak misalnya Cambridge, Oxford dan lain-lainnya itu mereka punya beasiswa yang seperti ini, parsial. Jadi dia tuh hanya membayarin SPP kalian. Kadang nggak juga penuh SPP-nya, ada juga yang dia cuma bayar setengah SPP-nya dan sisanya harus kalian bayar sendiri. Seperti itu. Ada juga yang fully funded juga, cuman jarang. Dan fully funded itu biasanya lebih ketat untuk administrasi dan juga seleksinya. Nah, kalau yang parsial ini nggak terlalu seberat si fully funded ini biasanya. Itu. Selanjutnya. Secara internasional tuh beasiswa dibagi menjadi 2. Yang pertama itu long term award dan yang kedua itu adalah short term award. Jadi yang pertama ini kita ngomongin dulu long term award. Ini seperti apa sih? Ini lebih ke yang mau melanjutkan studinya ke level selanjutnya. Contohnya misalnya mau yang kalau kalian kan di Widya Dharma ini kalian kan lebih studinya kan rata-rata S1 ya di sini semua ya. Jadi biasanya itu kalau misalnya kalian mau lanjut lagi master itu ada beasiswa itu sebenarnya banyak guys. Setiap tahunnya itu mungkin berpuluh-puluh beasiswa dari berbagai negara itu buka gitu loh. Cuman masalahnya kan informasinya kadang tidak tergapai dengan baik atau tidak terdistribusi dengan baik seperti itu. Nah, untuk yang long term award ini dia lebih ke master. Master ini nanti bisa kalian coursework atau research. Nah, kan kalian mikirnya gini nih, kalau misalnya keluar negeri itu nanti kalau S2 saya harus penelitian lagi, udahlah penelitian S1 nih mati-matian ngerjakannya, ngajar dosennya kayak apa gitu kan. Tapi untuk yang di luar negeri, terutama misalnya kalian mau ke Aussie nih, ke Australia gitu kan, itu dia ada pilihan S2-nya itu coursework. Artinya apa? Coursework itu artinya tidak perlu penelitian. Kalian nggak perlu buat tesis, nggak perlu buat research atau apa. Kalian cuman kuliah aja, menyelesaikan apa sih namanya itu SKS-nya aja seluruhnya. Setelah selesai, nilainya pun lulus semua, ya udah kalian dapat gelarnya seperti itu. Ada juga yang by research. By research seperti apa? Maksudnya itu kalian nggak ada kuliah, jadi kalian kuliahnya itu kalau rata-rata di Australia itu sendiri atau di Inggris itu kan biasanya 1,5 tahun sampai 2 tahun. Nah itu kalian tinggal research doang, nggak ada masuk kelas, nggak ada apa. Jadi kalian itu hubungan itu hanya dengan academic supervisor kalian yang ada di universitas tersebut. Nah, jadi kalau kalian mikir, aduh nanti aku S2 harus penelitian lagi, enggak. Ada juga kalau di luar negeri itu yang seperti ini. Di Inggris, di Australia, dan di New Zealand itu mereka modelnya gini, coursework. Kalau nggak salah di US juga sama, ada pilihan coursework doang. Jadi nggak perlu lagi pakai research lagi. Yang penting kalian ngerjain apa sih namanya tugas dari masing-masing mata kuliahnya. Kalau udah selesai. Kalian pun dapat gelar dan tidak perlu pusing-pusing lagi dengan research. Karena biasanya gini, kebiasaan dari anak-anak S1 ini, dia nggak mau lanjut itu ya karena udah dibantai dengan tesisnya itu. Jadi kalian pun udah males mau lanjut lagi karena udah capek. Nah, kalau kalian masih mau lanjut, ada niat dan kalian terhalang dengan ketakutan itu, don't worry. Karena kalau di luar negeri, mereka sudah ada yang namanya coursework. Yang mana itu kalian cuma kuliah doang, tidak ada research-nya. Nah, kalau PhD atau yang doktoral atau yang S3, PhD ini kalau kata teman saya itu permanent head damage. Jadi ketika udah ngambil PhD ini langsung rusak otaknya. Langsung sengklek bahasanya gitu ya. Nah, di PhD ini tentu saja ini research. Jadi kebanyakan itu lebih ke research arahnya, tidak ada yang kayak kuliah lagi, jadi research selama 4 tahun itu. Ada juga dia gelarnya itu sekarang gini, trennya itu ada yang namanya integrated PhD. Maksudnya apa? Maksudnya gini, kalaupun kalian ilmu penelitian kalian masih kurang, kalian disuruh kuliah lagi 2 tahun tentang penelitian. Jadi 2 tahun itu kalian kuliah penelitian dulu, belajar lagi dari awal gitu. Nah 2 tahun ke depannya baru kalian penelitiannya. Jadi sekarang itu udah enak sih guys. Jadi kalian nggak perlu takut, aduh nanti aku buta dan lain-lainnya. Tenang. Untuk sekarang itu dunia pendidikan tinggi itu udah lebih kooperatif, terutama di luar negeri itu mereka lebih mengutamakan ini sih service yang untuk bagaimana caranya lulusannya itu bisa dengan cepat selesai dan dengan benar gitu. Selanjutnya itu ada short term award. Nah, ini biasanya mungkin ada teman-teman di mahasiswa di sini yang lebih tertarik dengan short term award. Short term award ini maksudnya apa? Maksudnya ini gini, dia non degree, tidak ada gelarnya dan itu cuman sekitaran 1 semester sampai 2 semester mereka. Jadi antara sekitaran 4 bulan sampai 9 bulan aja di negara tujuan itu. Nah, maksud dari short term award ini lebih ke pengembangan profesionalitas profesi di negeri tujuan. Jadi misalnya kalau di Australia Award sendiri, dia ada short term award-nya. New Zealand juga ada, chevening juga ada, LPDP belum ada. LPDP aja belum ada short term award, tapi kalau chevening, New Zealand, sama Australian Award ini, dia sudah ada short term award-nya. Gunanya misalnya gini, kalian udah kerja nih 1 tahun, 2 tahun di perusahaan kalian kan, di mana itu entah berantah terserah. Dan kalian tuh ngerasa, aduh kayaknya aku ingin deh mau ngembangin lagi profesionalitas aku gitu. Tapi aku maunya ke luar negeri sekalian gitu, mau lihat dunia luar gitu kan. Bisa. Itu melalui chevening, melalui New Zealand sama Australia Award. Tiap tahunnya mereka tuh ada topik atau tema dari short term award-nya itu untuk siapa. Kalau nggak salah tahun ini kalau di Australia Award itu dia lebihnya lebih fokus ke orang-orang yang ada di jurnalistik kalau nggak salah saya, sama nasional pokoknya penanggulangan bencana alam nasional. Nah itu mereka lebih fokusnya ke situ. New Zealand juga sama. Chevening itu sekarang lebih kepada pengembangan untuk yang akademisi short termnya. Jadi tiap tahun itu beda-beda. Nah biasanya kalau kayak jurusan di Widya Dharma itu sendiri, di ekonomi dan lainnya, itu juga pasti ada. Karena yang namanya ekonomi dan juga mungkin akuntansi itu pasti hal-hal yang perlu dikembangin lagi lah tingkat profesionalitasnya. Dan ini merupakan kesempatan kalian untuk bisa melihat dunia luar, istilahnya bisa dapat teman baru juga kalau short term award. Karena nanti kan kalian dikumpulin dengan awardee yang lain nih. Nah, itu juga jadi kesempatan kalian untuk buka link untuk masa depan kalian sendiri. Entah kalian mau buka bisnis, entah kalian mau kerja sama apa, itulah dia fungsinya dari beasiswa itu sendiri. Nah, antara long term award sama short term award sendiri. Selanjutnya. Nah, kriteria menjadi awardee beasiswa itu apa? Nah, banyak kesalahan tuh orang mikirnya gini, oh aku harus pintar, GPA atau IPK aku harus 4, harus cum laude. Itu salah total, tidak ada yang seperti itu. Mereka hanya ada memberikan minimal. Minimal kalau misalnya mau menjadi awardee, di beberapa beasiswa itu IPK di bawah 3 itu udah bisa diterima. Minimal itu nggak salah 2,8 itu udah bisa. Jadi itu ada beberapa pandangan atau stereotype kalau beasiswa itu hanya untuk orang pintar. Tidak, itu salah total. Bukan masalah pintar GPA-nya, bahkan tidak perlu cum laude. Ya, cum laude atau cum laude ini terserah lah apa namanya itu enggak ada, sebenarnya enggak ada menjadi patokan gitu loh yang harus gitu, tidak. Karena menurut pengalaman saya juga banyak juga kok teman-teman saya yang udah mengejar beasiswa dan juga yang udah dapat beasiswa, mereka tidak cum laude, malahan kuliahnya bisa sampai 5 tahun. Bayangin lah, 5 tahun kuliah tapi dia dapat beasiswa. Kenapa? Ya karena kepintarannya itu bukan hanya di dunia kampus, tapi di luar, seperti itu. Yang kedua itu bukan masalah ras atau suku, nggak ada masalah ras atau suku guys. Yang penting kalau misalnya kalian mau beasiswa itu, ya udah kita semuanya orang Indonesia. Jadi kita wakili Indonesia itu untuk bisa berangkat ke sana gitu loh. Jadi tidak ada masalah mengenai ras atau suku. Itu salah total. Kalau misalkan ada mikirnya, aduh aku orang yang kebetulan rasnya itu mungkin agak underrepresented gitu kan. Itu enggak lagi. Sekarang itu udah mulai kita inklusif dan kita juga udah mulai tidak ada mengeksklusifkan ras tertentu, itu tidak ada. Yang penting kita saingan aja melalui yang udah kontribusi kita apa, terus nanti kita kalau beasiswa itu biasanya buat esai dan lain-lainnya. Nah, jadi itu yang kita harus tinggikan gitu, bukan masalah ras atau suku lagi. Yang ketiga itu pinter di dunia luar, bukan hanya di kampus. Nah, kembali lagi dengan nomor pertama tadi. Jadi bukan masalah IPK harus 4, harus cum laude, itu salah total. Yang penting itu kalian, kontribusi kalian itu selama perkuliahan apa sih? Apakah kalian hanya istilahnya di kampus, istilahnya ngikutin dosen, atau istilahnya ujung-ujungnya dapat di kampat dan kalian cuma hidup kalian di situ? Enggak. Tapi kalau bisa itu ketika kuliah ini sekarang ya masih ada kesempatan ini, ya kalian tuh cari pengalaman di dunia luar. Terserah itu kontribusinya apa. Bahkan sekecil putus ya? Halo? Oh, bahkan sekecil misalnya kalian mengikuti organisasi agama kalian lah misalnya gitu kan, itu udah termasuk kontribusi. Bahkan misalnya kalau kalian di sini ada yang orang Nasrani atau yang Kristen atau Katolik itu, dan kalian tuh misalnya tiap minggunya kalian memberikan sekolah minggu, nah itu udah kontribusi juga untuk sosial gitu, karena kalian melakukannya itu secara gratis gitu. Nah itu kan namanya sosial gitu ya. Yang keempat itu sosial alias peduli dengan sekitar. Nah kembali lagi saya bilang itu harus sosial, harus peduli dengan sekitar kalian. Maksudnya peduli di sini adalah kalian melihat permasalahan dan ini yang kalian mau angkat gitu loh. Dan kalian tuh istilahnya sadar dengan hal itu dan kalian ngerti dan kalian rasa bisa menghadapinya itu, dan juga kalian membutuhkan ilmu yang lebih agar bisa menyelesaikan masalah ini. Nah, kalau misalnya kalian nggak sadar dengan sekitar kalian, nah itu agak sulit gitu. Kalau mau nulis esainya terutama, karena esainya itu nanti pada dasarnya membahas tentang hal itu. Yang keempat itu pintar merangkai kata. Nah, pintar merangkai kata ini apa? Kata-kata yang persuasif, kata-kata yang bisa membuat orang itu percaya kalau kalian itu bisa. Nah, ini kan, aduh aku nggak bisa nih ngerangkai kata-kata, soalnya kan aku biasanya cuma lihat angka-angka yang misalnya anak akuntansi atau misalnya yang anak manajemen hanya cuma melihat ya merangkai kata-kata cuman ya nggak terlalu yang gimana-gimana gitu kan. Tapi itu tenang karena kan di base partner sendiri kita kan bisa gitu untuk membantu kalian karena kita juga ada buka servisnya untuk nanti kedepannya itu kita mau buka ada kelas namanya kelas beasiswa. Jadi kelas persiapan beasiswa itu ya ini teman-teman yang mau ngambil kelas beasiswa, mau ngambil beasiswa dan persiapannya itu kita bisa bantu karena dan juga nanti kan sekalian tuh udah selesai kelasnya baru nanti lanjutin ke PTE ini, ambil tes PTE-nya untuk istilahnya melengkapi persyaratan dari beasiswa itu sendiri terutama di segi bahasa. Nah, selanjutnya itu minimal bahasa Inggrisnya kompeten. Maksudnya kompeten ini ada tingkatannya, nanti akan saya tunjukin minimalnya berapa di bawah ini nanti. Yang ketujuh itu rajin atau bahasa Melayunya ya sekitar sini itu namanya sehe. Jadi kalau mengejar beasiswa itu harus rajin dalam hal membaca, mempersiapkan dan juga harus sensitif gitu loh dengan berbagai hal. Misalnya, aduh ternyata ijazah aku nggak ada bahasa Inggrisnya, harus translate. Transkripnya, harus translate juga. Nanti kalau misalnya kalian mau ngejar dosen kalian nih, karena kan nanti untuk ambil beasiswa perlu ada namanya tuh surat referensi. Nah, surat referensi itu harus dapat dari mana? Dari dari academic supervisor kalian atau dosen PA kalian dulu. Yang kedua itu dari akademisi di kampus kalian sendiri atau kampus lainnya yang kalian kenal. Nah, yang ketiga itu dari tempat kerja kalian jika kalian bekerja ataupun orang yang berpengaruh di lingkungan kalian. Gitu. Misalnya ketua himpunan apa gitu, atau misalnya kepala gereja atau apa, atau kepala suatu agama lainnya, itu bisa juga karena itu orang yang berpengaruh juga, dan yang penting mereka harus kenal dengan kalian dan kemampuan kalian gitu. Jadi harus rajin. Jadi kalau misalnya nggak rajin itu gimana ya, susah sih, karena ini modelnya itu ya model-model kayak skripsi juga harus sehe. Kalau nggak sehe itu ya ketinggalan dengan yang lain gitu. Selanjutnya itu harus sabar, karena ngejar ini nggak mungkin kalian sekali coba langsung dapat. Ada yang seperti itu, ada salah satu murid kita juga di batch partner itu, dia coba tahun ini dia coba di awal tahun ini dia coba Australia Award gitu kan. Dia coba Australia Award, terus dia coba untuk daftar, dan kebetulan dia masuk sebagai salah satu yang dipilih untuk ke tahap selanjutnya, yaitu interview gitu loh. Jadi pendaftarnya itu bayangin guys, untuk yang Australia Award tahun ini itu pendaftarnya itu ada sekitaran 6.028 peserta seluruh Indonesia, dan yang diterima untuk di interview dan di IELTS itu hanya 100 orang. Dan pada akhirnya nanti yang akan dipilih, yang akan dikirim ke Aussie atau Australia itu hanya 50 orang. Bayangin, itu persentasenya untuk diterima itu hanya 0,0000001%. Dan dia bisa jadi salah satu 100 sudah merupakan tahap yang luar biasa. Dan ini juga adalah hal pertama kalinya dia coba. Gitu. Dan kalau saya perhatikan, dia itu ketujuh hal ini dia udah masuk. Dia nggak pinter GPA kok, biasa aja. Gitu. Masalah ras suku bukan. Dia mungkin nggak pinter di luar, cuman dia punya bisnis sendiri di luar, dan dia juga udah buka usaha sendiri dengan teman-temannya. Terus dia juga sosial orangnya, suka bantuin orang lain. Yang kelima dia itu masalah kata ini dia juga minta tolong dengan teman-temannya yang memang pandai merangkai kata. Bahasa Inggrisnya pun udah kompeten sesuai dengan kebutuhan. Dia pun juga rajin, karena dari awal tahun sampai sekarang dia masih mengejar hal itu, dan dia tidak berhenti, non-stop alias konsisten. Dan terakhir dia sabar. Jadi harus sabar ujung-ujungnya gitu ya. Selanjutnya. Nah, jadi untuk apa sih hubungannya dengan PTE ya? Jadi untuk beberapa beasiswa kayak Australia Award Scholarship, New Zealand Aid Scholarship, beasiswa LPDP yang punya kita sendiri Indonesia, sama S.Pd Scholarship ke UK, dan beberapa beasiswa lainnya juga menggunakan PTEA sebagai prasyarat bukti kemampuan bahasa Inggris mendaftar. Jadi ini sudah bisa dicek. Nanti ada linknya juga yang akan saya tunjukin. Nanti mungkin bisa slide ini di-share ke teman-teman ini ya, teman-teman di WD ini, untuk bisa mendapatkan ini beasiswa. Dan terutama kan karena kalian kebanyakan S1 ya. Jadi kalau mau lanjut S2-nya itu minimal nilai PTE-nya 58. Nilai maksimal skor dari PTEA itu sendiri itu adalah 86. Dan kalian hanya butuh 58 saja dari 86. Jadi nggak juga terlalu tinggi, nggak juga terlalu rendah, sedang lah bahasanya gitu kan. Jadi istilahnya bahasanya itu jangan jangan berkecil hati, karena itu sebenarnya itu bisa kalian gapai, yang penting latihannya bagus dan lain-lainnya. Oke. Nah, kedepannya seperti yang kata Pak Gordon tadi, memang kenapa PTE ini ada beberapa yang masih belum menerima? Karena PTEA itu sendiri adalah masih muda. Anggapannya gini, dia itu anak bungsu dari saudara-saudaranya yang lain gitu loh. Dia ini baru cuma 10 tahun. Nah, sedangkan saudara lainnya itu udah 30 tahun, udah 20 tahun. Jadi udah dikenal oleh banyak orang. Nah, PTE sendiri ini nih dia anak bungsu. Jadi belum ngembang-ngembangnya gitu loh. Belum istilahnya orang banyak tahu, tapi pada dasarnya kalau untuk PTE ini cocok untuk zaman kita sekarang ya, yang new normal ini. Karena apa? Karena kita harus mengurangi juga ini kan untuk keluar dari rumah dan lain-lainnya karena pandemi ini. Nah, kalau misalnya PTE ini kan kalian itu bisa tesnya itu online. Jadi nggak perlu ketemu banyak orang, kalian cuma ketemu sama komputer, ngadap komputer, ngomongnya pun juga nanti sama komputer gitu loh. Jadi itu aman lah gitu untuk mencegah kita dapat pandemi ini gitu, kita kena pandemi ini gitu loh. Ya. Selanjutnya Pak. Mungkin itu saja sih dari saya. Jadi saya nggak banyak omong ya. Yang penting kalian, saya mau banyak bertanya deh kalian, karena intinya ini kalau misalnya kalian banyak bertanya, ini kita bisa buka secara seru gitu loh untuk hal ini ya. Jadi any question so far? Terima kasih.
Okay. Thank you Mr. Ryan for atas penjelasannya tentang beasiswa, dari jenis-jenisnya, negara-negaranya, kriterianya, dan juga persyaratan ataupun tips-tips lainnya buat mendapatkan beasiswa. Oke. Sekarang kita masuk ke sesi pertanyaan. Ada yang ingin bertanya? Jika ingin bertanya boleh langsung di comment section, dituliskan di comment sectionnya. Ayo, ada yang ingin bertanya? Ada ya? Masih ngetik mungkin. Oke. Kalau nggak ada yang bertanya, kita kembali ke Mr. Gordon dulu ya.
Tunggu dulu. Tadi itu ada saya
ada yang mana tuh?
nyentuh LPDP, cuman di spam sama teman-teman yang lain nih dengan absennya. Waduh. Mana ya dia? Itu pertanyaan bagus sekali dan itu tepat sekali. Mana ya?
Kelewatan juga nih.
Jadi mohon maaf ya, muka saya bukan bule, tapi saya bule Sungai Jawi, oke?
Oke, kita cek dulu ya pertanyaan tadi yang kelewat. Hello, Mr. Gordon. There are 3 questions left. And maybe we still have time to answer the questions. Okay. I would like to show you, or would you like me to read the questions, sir?
Or call them up.
Okay, there are 3 questions from Kevin, Andreas, and Trikusuma. First question is from Kevin. The question is, hi sir, I would like to ask a question. Can PTE be used as a foundation for higher levels? For example, IELTS academic as requirement for Australian visa application? And thank you very much. Thank you in advance.
Yeah, so
that's the question from
I think I understand it as a foundation for higher level. So, yeah, so yes, PTE can be used for Australia visa, New Zealand visa, and the UK visa as well. So quite a few students will use our test. That's right. If they're going to, say, the UK, to study, but they don't get direct entry into a university, they have to go on a pre-sessional, a foundation. So if it's below degree level and the university doesn't sponsor their visa, they have to apply for a tier 4 visa, and they can take the PT academic for that foundation level course. Yes, so yeah, PT academic can be used to apply for visas in Australia, New Zealand, and the UK if you're needing to go on a student visa because you're studying a foundation or pre-sessional level.
Okay, that's it, sir. Okay, I would like to translate what's been answered. Kevin, jawaban dari Pak Gordon tadi itu sebenarnya PTE bisa digunakan untuk visa-visa yang ada di Australia, New Zealand, dan UK. Jadi, jika berkenan dan sebaiknya, jika ingin tadi yang disebutkan di PTE, bisa lebih fair, bisa lebih cepat, dan bisa lebih tanpa bias, kamu bisa sebaiknya pilih PTE Academic instead of yang lainnya. Okay. Untuk yang level yang lebih rendah seperti foundation di Australia, UK atau New Zealand, sebaiknya kamu lihat dulu persyaratan dan yang lainnya untuk yang foundation ini. Oke, itu yang sudah saya rangkumkan. Terima kasih Kevin atas pertanyaannya. Oke, thank you very much Mr. Gordon for your answer. Next is there is another question from Andrianus Andri. I'd like to read it. The question is, how about accent that affect our pronunciation? Can it become obstacle in assessment or test? Thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
An accent, no, but a pronunciation error, it will pick up on. So, it's a good question, very common question we get, and that's as simple as I can put it is that the computer won't mark you down because of an accent, but if it's a pronunciation error, then it will. So for example, when I played that sample student speaking, one of the words, most of the words he pronounced correctly, even though he had I think it was an Indian accent, I could recognize, right? So he pronounced all the words correctly, even though he had that accent. But one word was purchases, and he pronounced it purchases. So he didn't have the CH sound, that cha. He was pronouncing as a ka sound. So that's not an accent, that's a pronunciation error. So he would get marked down a small amount for that. It wouldn't affect his score a large amount, but that's the type of thing the computer marking system would pick up on, just as I hope a human marker would pick up on that mistake too. So yeah, that's pretty much the key. If your accent is different than a pronunciation error. Often it can lead to pronunciation errors, but they are different things. So as long as your accent and you're pronouncing the word correctly, no problem. If it's a pronunciation error, then you'll be scored slightly down for that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say
thank you very much.
Accent is not an obstacle in assessment, is the clearest.
All right, I see. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gordon. I'll translate the answer. Andrianus Andri, jawaban dari Pak Gordon tadi adalah aksen tidak mengaruhi hasil dan juga penilaian yang ada pada PTE test akademik. Tapi pronunciation error, ya. Jadi kamu mesti tahu bisa membedakan antara aksen dan pronunciation error. Tapi kalau di computer base-nya yang ada di PTE akademik, mereka udah bisa membedakan yang mana yang aksen, yang mana yang computer pronunciation error. Oke, contohnya tadi purchases sama per cases. Nah, per cases itu bukan aksen tapi pronunciation error. Nah, jadi kelihatan gitu, yang mana yang aksen, yang mana pronunciation error, dan bisa dibedakan melalui AI sistemnya yang ada di PTE akademik. Oke. Selanjutnya, oke, terima kasih Andrianus Andri, thank you very much for the question. Mr. Gordon, there is the last question. This is the very last from Tri Kusuma Dewi. The question is, morning sir, I want to ask about your experience until you become part of PTE Academic. Could you give us some tips to become successful, and thanks in advance. It's not completely related to PTE, but it's
I was a teacher before I started working for Pearson and PT Academic. So I was actually an international school teacher for many years. I taught elementary school, and I wanted to try something else. So still working in education, but now I work in a sales marketing side of education where I get to represent the Pearson test of English, and I'm enjoying it very much. I miss traveling as part of my job. I used to go to Indonesia, and I missed my visits to Jakarta and Surabaya, and hopefully one day soon I'll go to Pontianak. But yeah, that was my career before I started working here. So to be successful in the PTE academic test, I would say practice, practice, practice. Visit, do a practice test to pick up your own skills and techniques. And, first work on improving your English language level, But once you feel comfortable that you're at an English language level for success in reaching your score, then focus on just familiarizing yourself with the test and the item types and some tips and techniques for each item type to improve your score, which can be found just online or working with one of our preparation partners, like a best partner.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gordon, for your answer. I would like to summarize and translate what's been answered. Okay, Tri Kusuma Dewi, jawaban dari Mr. Gordon. Ini pengalamannya dia sendiri. Dulunya dia, Mr. Gordon adalah seorang teacher atau pengajar yang mengajar di banyak tempat dan travel juga banyak tempat. Dan sekarang dia rindu katanya ingin bisa travel sana sini. Sekarang dia masuk ke PTE, tapi tetap di dunia pendidikan, meskipun tidak sepenuhnya mengajar. Lalu untuk PTE, ada tadi tambahan sedikit, sebanyak mungkin improve your score untuk PTE akademik dan selalu belajar dan belajar dan belajar. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gordon, for all of your answer and all of your explanation.
Thank you for the great questions. Yeah, really great questions today. Thank you.
Okay, and we go to another question for Mr. Ryan about scholarship. Okay, ada banyak pertanyaan baru tentang beasiswa.
Ya.
Okay, kita mulai
Apa
dari
itu?
mana nih, Sir?
Yang mana enaknya lah.
Okay, ini udah banyak pertanyaan sekarang.
Oke.
Terkait dengan ini ada yang nanya Devani CM tentang beasiswanya fully funded.
Yes.
Apa saja persyaratannya? Fully funded kan banyak tuh, Sir.
Mana nih?
Yang dari Devani CM. Devani CM.
Oke. Bisa dibacain enggak pertanyaannya apa?
Untuk beasiswa fully funded, apa saja persyaratannya?
Untuk beasiswa fully funded. Ya, untuk beasiswa fully funded itu sendiri, itu masing-masing pemberi beasiswa itu beda-beda ya. Persyaratannya itu banyak. Cuman yang paling utama itu yang harus kita pikirkan itu apa? Ini, kemampuan bahasa Inggris kita dulu. Our English language requirement first. Like as I mentioned before, kayak misalnya tadi sudah saya bilang, PTEA itu kan salah satu yang menjadi patokannya sekarang. Nah, seandainya kalian udah dapat skor itu, let's say kalian skornya itu tadi 60 atau 70. Nah, itu otomatis itu akan membuka kesempatan kalian itu untuk mengambil beasiswa manapun gitu. Terutama di 4 beasiswa yang saya sebut tadi. Ada yang chevening, yang ke Inggris, Australia Award ke Aussie, New Zealand Aid Scholarship ke New Zealand, dan yang terakhir itu LPDP itu udah. Terus juga tadi saya lihat untuk yang ini ya, Mbak Devani ini bertanya kan kalau saya mau ngambil yang di LPDP, terutama yang ke US bisa, yang ada di tulisan di link LPDP itu sendiri, itu PTEA itu udah masuk, udah ada jadi salah satu prasyarat untuk bahasanya itu sendiri. Jadi untuk menjawabnya ya bisa untuk yang LPDP, kalau misalnya mau ke US juga kayaknya sih bisa. Terutama tadi Mr. Gordon udah ada bilang beberapa universitas yang Ivy League juga udah terima PTEA yang kayak misalnya Harvard dan lain-lainnya gitu. Jadi udah bisa kok. Untuk info lebih lanjut, kalau misalnya saya mau jelasin di sini bisa, cuman itu mungkin 2 jam enggak selesai. Jadi nanti bisa langsung cek di link LPDP-nya gitu ya, langsung ke LPDP, klik aja di Google-nya itu LPDP scholarship, itu udah muncul kok untuk prasyarat dan lain-lainnya. Masing-masing ingat, masing-masing beasiswa itu beda-beda prasyaratnya. Cuman yang universally accepted atau misalnya requirement yang universal itu ya kemampuan bahasa. Kalau kita mau ngomongin ngambil beasiswa tapi kemampuan bahasa kita belum ada, jangan ngomong dulu. Karena apa? Nanti kalian pusing sendiri gitu. Kalian cuma diangan-angan kalau misalnya kemampuan bahasanya masih kurang. Jadi kalau misalnya udah ada kemampuan bahasanya, udah PTE-nya udah oke, minimal 58 skornya, itu udah bisa kok. Udah bisa kalian berpikir, oh saya mau ngambil LPDP, saya mau ngambil PTE, saya mau ngambil di Australia Award, saya mau ngambil di chevening, saya mau ngambil New Zealand, silahkan. Dan kalau misalnya memang serius mau ngambil, mereka itu awal tahun itu udah buka. Jadi dari tanggal Februari sampai Mei, nah itulah zaman-zamannya di mana kalian bisa mengejar beasiswa itu sendiri. Karena kebanyakan beasiswa kayak misalnya Australia Award, New Zealand 8 itu di bulan Februari itu udah buka. Chevening itu biasanya nanti Septemberan gitu. Agustusan gitu bukanya. Seperti itu.
Oke, udah terjawab ya, Devani. Ada pertanyaan lagi nih, Mr. Ryan. Beasiswa dari Andrianus Andri.
Oh ya.
Aku bacain ya.
Apanya?
Beasiswa fully funded untuk short term, apakah lebih mudah kriterianya atau sama dengan yang lain?
Kalau untuk yang short term itu pada dasarnya sama sih dengan yang long term. Cuman dia itu yang kita tidak perlu pikirkan tuh adalah LOA atau Letter of Acceptance dari universitas yang mau kita tuju. Itu kita nggak perlu mikirinnya gitu. Jadi kita nggak perlu daftar ke universitas mana. Karena itu nanti akan diurus sama pemberi beasiswanya. Seperti itu. Tapi yang lain-lainnya itu hampir mirip. Tes kemampuan bahasanya sama, cuman biasanya tes kemampuannya itu nggak terlalu tinggi. Misalnya tadi kalau yang long term itu butuhnya skor PTE-nya itu 58 misalnya gitu. Nah, kalau short term itu mungkin agak lebih rendah, mungkin 50, mungkin 55, mungkin di bawah itu bisa jadi. Jadi dia lebih agak diperingan di bagian bahasanya itu sendiri. Nah, untuk info lanjutnya itu langsung bisa cek di websitenya Chevening, di websitenya Australia Award sama di New Zealand itu udah ada untuk short termnya itu seperti apa prasyaratnya. Kalau LPDP belum ada ya guys. LPDP itu hanya untuk yang degree, untuk yang S2 dan S3 gitu. Gitu ya.
Oke, thank you Mr. Ryan atas jawabannya. Andri, semoga jawabannya terjawab dan juga jelas. Oke.
Yang terakhir nih kayaknya nih. Cindy.
Apa tuh? Oh, Cindy ya, ada pertanyaan baru dari Cindy. Perlu dibacakan, Sir?
Oke, sini. Apakah ada beasiswa untuk lulusan D3 yang ingin lanjutnya ke S1 di luar negeri? Pertanyaan yang bagus. Di New Zealand 8 itu dia ada untuk beasiswa S1. Jadi kalau kita ngomongin beasiswa ini yang paling lengkap itu apa? Itu New Zealand 8 karena dia masih terima yang mau S1 keluar ke negerinya dia itu ada. Kalau di Chevening itu cuman S2. Sayangnya kalau yang Australia Award hanya S2 dan S3, LPDP juga sama S2 sama S3. Jadi yang kalau kita ngomongin lengkap itu ke New Zealand, ke Selandia Baru itu. Nanti bisa cek langsung ke websitenya untuk lebih lanjutnya gimana. Itu. Bisa.
Oke, thank you, Sir. Jawabannya bisa kontak-kontak kita juga kalau ingin tahu lebih tentang beasiswa atau ikut kelasnya. Oke.
Bisa.
Oke, aku mau jawab singkat nih. Ada dari pertanyaan Novianti. Selamat pagi, saya ingin bertanya berapa lama PTE berlaku? PTE berlaku selama 2 tahun. Dari hasilnya keluar itu, jadi ya lumayan lama, sama dengan yang tes-tes yang lainnya. Oke. Untuk yang lainnya udah cukup. Oh ya, di webinar ini ada Doorprize yang ingin aku sampaikan, yang udah nanya. Oke. Jadi Doorprize-nya itu apa tadi itu? Hadiah tes PTE free PTE simulation seharga 35 USD atau sekitar 500.000 rupiah. Oke, yang menang atau yang mendapatkan Doorprize ini adalah Dea Yolanda. Oke, Dea Yolanda, selamat. Nanti silakan hubungi kami atas Doorprize yang udah didapatkan. Oke. Untuk PTE Academic, di situ ada simulation, ada PTE Academic Tester, semuanya bisa ikut tes. Nanti linknya akan diberikan, semuanya bisa ikut tes PTE Academic Tester, dan juga buat kamu belajar lebih dalam tentang PTE Academic. Oke. Saya rasa udah itu aja. Okay, thank you very much everybody. Thank you very much Mr. Gordon.
Thank you.
We're going to close our webinar for today. It is really great day today to have you here with us and with Universitas Widya Dharma.
Yeah, my pleasure, and thank you very much for inviting me. And all of you, all the students at the university, have a great day. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much semuanya, and have a good day. Goodbye. Sampai jumpa semuanya.